Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
I think it's time for us to have the talk. And I'm not talking about the talk that black people have, especially with their young black sons. I'm talking about the talk of this craziness that's going on across this country. I think that Michael Moore did it best when he produced that movie docu-series or documentary on Bowling for Columbine. He did that over 10 years ago. And for some odd reason, no one heeded the warning. There is obviously an issue with white male crime in this country. We can no longer afford to continue to place the responsibility on left or right politics, on religion, on immigrants, or on African Americans, because it seems, just like after Charlie Kirk passed away, that somehow HBCUs were getting threats all across the country. Follow up with some organization or group that decides to invite themselves to TSU campus without warning, without even asking permission.
Very tired of this.
Which, by the way, even though HBCUs have some public funding, just like state universities, they still have the right to privacy and who will be allowed on their campuses and for what kind and type of events. Just look it up. But I digress. I just wanted to point out that something clearly has to be said and accountability has to be taken for the type of violence that we see. It's random mass shooting. Oftentimes when black males are accused of shootings, it's targeted. It's because of an argument. It's because of some sort of fallout that occurred. It's targeted. But in this case, over the weekend, within a 24-hour period, what we saw was at least 2 mass shootings done by white males and done randomly. One was in North Carolina. I believe the place is called Southport, where the guy just jumps out of his yacht and randomly decides to shoot everyone standing at the restaurant.
So, are you able to say if there was 3 fatalities for sure?
So far, that's what I understand. And I think 4 others shot have been transported to the hospital.
You know, good old Dozier's stop.
This is unacceptable behavior. And again, we can't continue to blame black people. We can't continue to come uninvited into black spaces and then point the finger randomly at black folks or immigrants or whatever. We can't continue to do this. The second one was done in Michigan. That was huge. It turns out I have family members that live in or friends rather, that live in Michigan near that location. So I have friends all over the country for that matter. So I had to reach out and check to see if they were okay. I kind of knew more than likely they were Christian, perhaps, and didn't think that they were Mormon. But you never know. They could have been going to an event there. I don't know how far it was. In fact, I just checked to see.
Oh. Come on, everybody to the back. Please, everybody come to the back. Come to the back. John, they gotta come. They gotta come. Come on.
Come on.
Go. Out, I don't think is a good idea. Come on here.
So I say that to say this: no more blaming black people on your behavior. No more blaming the right. No more blaming the left. Let's take a look at what's going on in the white community when it comes to random mass shootings of people. We've had incident after incident. And in terms of a church, this was big at a Mormon church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. But it also happened about 10 years ago to the Church 9 in South Carolina. Look up the Church 9 in case you don't know about it. It was performed by Dylan Roof, who went into the church and began to pray with the parishioners and then just opened fire on them. And it's rumored, or maybe it's true, that after they apprehended Dylan, because he ran away into North Carolina from South Carolina, where it took place. They took him out to Burger King before they arrested him. Make this make sense. But let's make something make sense. I don't see Donald Trump saying, as he stated about Washington, D.C. youth, that they were born
These
thugs.
are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did it. And we're not going to have those people. Washington, D.C. is now a safe zone. It's a safe place.
Make this make sense. We have all of these attacks on black Americans. We have all of these attacks on so-called illegal immigrants. But what we're not paying attention to are the white males that have been running around randomly. We had that shooting up in New York where a white male drove about 2 hours. He was from New York or lived in New York up to a known grocery store where the population was very diverse and very black American, I believe, and just open fire.
For you or your ignorant, hateful, and evil ideologies in a civilized society. There can be no mercy for you, no understanding, no second chances. The damage you have caused is too great, and the people you have hurt are too valuable to this community. You will never see the light of day as a free man ever again.
We love our kids. We never go in no neighborhoods and take people out. Don't do it.
So again, let's not treat random mass shootings like targeted mass shootings, because randomly speaking, we don't know where we can be now, whether we're in a church in South Carolina or in a church in a Mormon church in Michigan, whether or not we're going to be shot. We don't know if we're dining out somewhere in Southport, North Carolina, which happened this weekend, and someone just decides to take their yacht and do random shooting. We don't know. So clearly it's time for us to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room, and in case you didn't know, I don't care about the numbers that you want to quote. most of the numbers that you quote that says Black Americans only represent 13 to 14% of the population, yet commit 58% of the crime, it's not true. And we can see it on a daily basis. I don't know what the numbers were in real time over the weekend in Chicago, which is a place that a lot of right-wing white people or white supremacists or even left-wing for that matter like to quote. I don't know what the numbers were for this weekend, but for in real time, the numbers in a 24-hour period in terms of mass shooting happen to be white males. Now, we know based on statistics that white families have more parent households that have both the parents in the household, whereas Black families are led morely by single parent household. Doesn't mean the father's not there. That's not taken into account. But we have to stop lying to ourselves, okay? Because we have to start taking accountability, which is something that I don't see the white community doing. Again, we want to blame it on politics. We want to blame it on religion. Some of us want to blame it on Black people. Some of us want to blame it on illegal immigrants. We, as Americans, have to face the reality that we have a problem, and the problem appears to be a lot of white males across this country, regardless to their political spectrum, regardless to their religious ideology, that continue to do random mass shootings, which impact all of us because we never know where we're going to be. We never know if we're going to travel to see a friend or a family member. We never know if we're going to be out on a boat or something. We don't know. We don't know when we're going to the grocery store, whether or not someone's randomly going to come up to us. But what we do know is that we don't place the same kind of emphasis on white crime or just white crime in general as we do on the so-called stereotype Black on Black crime. We always want to quote the statistics out of Chicago as if the area of Chicago represents all of Black America. No, it doesn't. We always want to talk about the crime going on in Los Angeles as if California represents all the Latino population. No, it does not. But we can talk about, which we don't talk about, and which accountability is not taken to, white on white crime and white crime across this country. And I'm not understanding the anger. I just recently had someone comment on a post I did honoring Assata Shakur in terms of her passing. I didn't know her personally. I didn't know much about her because I was too young. But I know of people that spoke of her within the civil rights movement. So I just posted something, and lo and behold, we have someone coming underneath the post ranting about however they felt, and I don't believe they even know her history. I say that to say, just like TSU and HBCU, this white group of people came uninvited, so do we also have uninvited situations that land and place the responsibility on Black people, like Trump saying they're born thugs. None of this is ushered when it comes to white crime. They're not considered born thugs. They don't have to take any accountability. We continue to erase the history of it. But as I stated before, Michael Moore made Bowling for Columbine, and if you haven't seen the documentary, please do so for a reason. Because I believe he made it for white America to take a close look at themselves in the mirror. Something has to be done about this type of crime. No more putting the responsibility on others. White Americans in particular are privileged, and even more so in a Trump era where Trump is attempting to roll back all sorts of so-called DEI, when the only thing I'm seeing rolled out through his administration are DEI hires, white DEI hires, I might add. At what point in time is white America going to take accountability for their actions as they're demanding Black Americans and other illegal immigrants do?